Yes, sir. My name's Zakashi, guys. For you guys that are new here, that's so you know. For you guys that have been here, I know how I haven't been uploading a lot at all. I haven't been consistent at all. But I've got an update video on what's been going on for me. So you guys know I've done some community posts, but I'm just putting this here briefly at the start for the one video I do upload because I know this video is one that people like to look into. I have still been playing the game, obviously not as active, but I just do what I need to do so that when it's that time where I want to make serious content on a character that I like or whatever, I'm ready to. But yeah, that's just a quick update. I'm gonna do a proper whole video so you get the full scoop on what's going on for me. But hopefully you guys have been well. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this video. I'm not gonna hold you guys up any longer. Let's actually get into it now.
To go even further beyond.
Yes, sir. My name is Zakashi, guys, and in this video we are going into the top 5 best teams of the month, and we are actually in the first month of the year, which is January 2022, but it's actually the end, so we're in February now, probably by the time you're seeing this video, but this video is for January 2022. Still not used to saying 2022, gotta get used to it. Just to put out some disclaimers before I start this video, there's no order to this list, so it's the top 5 teams that I feel like are currently running the game as we speak. However, it doesn't necessarily mean they're just the most OP teams. It could also be a factor of how many people are using that team, because you just see them so often, even if one team is way better than them. And obviously stars are a factor, and generally speaking, but overall this list should be very accurate. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. Literally leave your top 5, any you disagree with. If there are any honorable mentions, I'm not sure, but you guys will see at the end of the video. Then I'll put an honorable mention section, but if there's not one, then I just didn't have any, but I usually do. But yeah, hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press that subscribe button. We are on this grind to 25,000 subscribers. We're very close. I believe we're like 200 subscribers off. So if you're watching this video, do me that favor, press that button, bro. It would very much make the journey worth it, because we're going straight up, honestly. But yeah, I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. Let's actually get into the first team so we can get through to the 5th team and get this video done. Now, the first team I've got in this video is actually Fusion Warriors. They have actually made a big comeback, having Ultra Gogeta being the best unit in the game. Honestly, this team, I see them quite a lot. And if you're grinding up, I do get to godly rank often. Well, I've got it 3 times, so I guess it's often. But honestly, I see this team so much, and it's simply because Ultra Gogeta is that great, alongside with some other factors. So we got SV Zenkai recently, G4 being an amazing unit, Marjube, his explosive green and endurance have brought the value up for the team insanely. Those 4 units honestly make the team, and there's no other variations. Honestly, we can go into the character list so you can see what other characters there are. Like there's Vegito Blue, the LF just fell off, I'm not gonna lie, it's unfortunate. For green, it's really just G4. If you're not using Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, I don't know what you're doing. For purples, you have to just bring LF Zenkai 7 Super Vegito. Like, you just have to, man. He's literally the staple for the team as a purple. And then yellow, people can use Gogeta Blue, but just the way the meta is, the debuffs, the buffs for the team that Marjube adds, and his explosive green on top of his endurance, it just makes him way more valuable in a meta where a lot of units have endurance, a lot of units like just literally do so much nullify endurance even then. But it's mainly just about keeping your team alive, because you could lose one priority and lose the game. So Marjube's value in the game is really high right now. And then for red, you don't really need a red. You don't, like, honestly you don't. But I have the base red Vegito there because he gives a lot of defenses to Vegitos. Because most games I always bring SV anyways, and I believe Gogeta, the Ultra one, gets it too because you want to bring him as the leader. But Fusion's overall, it shouldn't be any like discussion right now. Fusion's is like actually a top tier team. Even at a low level, you can still fight off against top tier teams if you had this team at very low stars, and that just shows the capability of the team. But that's number 1 on this list. We've got Fusion Warriors. Number 2 on this list, we've actually got Mono Purple. Mono Purple is a team where literally no matter what element you're bringing against them, they will destroy you. And the big reason for that is the switch Goku and Vegeta, because they have 2 elements by the way they reverse every time they switch. If you still don't know what that is, when Goku's in, your element is basically purple, so you do a lot of damage against greens. But when you switch into Vegeta, you actually do very little damage to greens, so greens have power over you, and then you'd be able to do damage against yellows, which usually have advantage over purples. So it reverses when you switch, and it's pretty cool, and that's what makes mono purple so dangerous, because even though they're all purple units, it's not really at the same time. We can look at the character box. It's literally insane, man. Lots of good purple units. Purple units are just out here, man. The variation I'm running, I've got the Scout of Vegeta. It's pretty much triple Zenkai buff for the Goku and Vegeta, but at the same time, the blue Vegeta and the SV, it's a quadruple Zenkai buff. I forgot about SV, but the blue Vegeta gets a triple Zenkai buff. SV, he gets a double one, which is just overall good. So the synergy is nuts, because the Zenkai buffs are greater than Z abilities, and that should be a no-brainer. There's not much variation you could have to this team. So if I go into the character list, so you can see what there is there. I wouldn't actually swap out anybody. Maybe you want to add Merge Zamasu, but that would also only be to buff the blue boys. Nobody else would get buffs from him in terms of Zenkai buffs, but if you have SV as the leader, that's also a good switch. But mainly this is the variation. Some people do add the Colt Q instead of the blue Vegeta. The Colt Q is from the movies, and he also gives an RP buff in the battlefield at a certain point. I don't know if it's still there, but that's something that people did. But I feel like the blue Vegeta is just something I'd opt in for, because he summons a blue card and reduces sub counts, and he builds buffs, which is just really good. But Colt Q is probably even a better option. This is just what I preference. But that's number 2 on the list. Mono purple is just destructive, man. It should also be a no-brainer. I shouldn't have even had to explain this long, but that's number 2, man. Mono purple. Number 3 on this list is literally just a variation of mono purple, but because Ultra Goji is literally the best unit in the game, he fits on the team, and we've got the blue purple team. Now, you could also make this a blue purple team if you take out the blue boys and actually add Bardock, because SV and Ultra Goji are both Super Saiyans. So that could be also something you could do in blue purple. So I'm going to put blue purple / blue purple. I feel like they both work equally as good, and they're just nuts, both of them. There's not much variation. I feel like it's mainly just these 3 that you want to run. I don't see you switching out anybody else. Maybe if you want to put Colt Q for the RP, I don't know, but I wouldn't advise you doing that anyways. I don't see anything else, any other way you would go about this team as well. I feel like maybe you could have the Revive Han, and if you don't know who I'm talking about, it's this guy for the Revival. You could have him there because he's also a movies unit, so you could swap out the blue boys, or even SV. It's up to you. But generally speaking, I feel like this is the best composition that works very well. If you want to ride this boost here, it's because his Z ability is damn insane, 50%. There's also another EX that has a similar Z ability. I always forget his name, but where is his head? I'll know where he is when I see him. There he is. We got Android 14. His Z ability is also as nuts. You could have either or. I just got Margin Buu because he's 14 stars, and it just brings a lot on top of the Zenkai buff that the blue boys are, Ultra Goji is getting from that. And then blue boys are getting double Zenkai buff because of SV, and then obviously SV gets a Zenkai buff from this Goku here. So you can see how the team synergizes. Color teams have actually been on crack recently, and if you run into one, you'll probably have a hard time, especially if they're in the hands of a good player. But that's number 3 on this list. We've got blue purple / blue purple. Number 4 on this list, we've actually got Future, the Trunks, Sword of Hope Trunks, and the Goku Black and Zamasu assist unit. Them 2 releasing alongside the blue boys, honestly, it made Future like a team on crack as well. When you see Sword of Hope Trunks on this tanked out team with a 14-star Goku Black and Zamasu, and most people do have that simply because, for one, he's not a legend limit, so it's easier to get him supposedly, and 2, the triple Z power drops was insane, so everybody just got high stars on these guys. I don't have Sword of Hope Trunks, that's why there's a missing spot at the front, but obviously the missing spot should be Sword of Hope Trunks. This team is nuts. You don't even have to run it like this. I don't use Future generally speaking, but obviously you guys know Future is up there. You could run it in a color variation where you actually specifically aim to buff the Sword of Hope Trunks. So I've got VB there simply because he's 14 stars, but I could swap him out with this guy and actually give Sword of Hope Trunks a Zenkai buff, which would work very well as well, on top of the Z ability working towards the whole team. That's something you could opt in for. It would work very well. I don't feel like there's anything else. Some people do like running this guy, LF Rose, because he nullifies endurance. I don't see it personally. I wouldn't do that. That's me personally. VB, if you're using this guy, there's something wrong with you, but it's an option you have. But generally speaking, it's that Sword of Hope Trunks, the Goku Black Zamasu, and Future Han, because Future Han, that's double endurance and tanky unit Goku Black and Zamasu, man. It's nuts. Future is just up there the same way Goku and Vegeta have been bringing up those color teams, man. Overall, there's not much to say as well. I just don't have Sword of Hope Trunks, but if you see Future, you're probably going to have to work out how you're going to get out the endurances, and rushing the person that you need to. It has to be a game-changing rush, otherwise you're just going to blow the game because of how long they can survive. But that's number 4 on this list. We're going to get into the final team on this list for number 5. So this one here, number 4, we got Future. Now number 5, I feel like this one might be controversial and it might be too soon. But on this day, the 31st of January, we actually got a Revival Frieza. It's crazy, right? I'm not obviously pulling on that banner. You have to be nuts. But the Revival Frieza is a big deal to how LOE will be run. And LOE was already being run a lot, considering that we got this LF Frieza here, who actually can nullify endurance. People pulled him a lot on the recent banners, even though they didn't want him. They got a chilled Zenkai, which actually Zenkai buffs this guy here. And if you have him Zenkai buffed, that also is a strong unit to have a support system. Cooler you could run as well. But now with this Revival Frieza that I just spoke about, it actually makes a big difference for the team overall. You can see it downloading because I was not touching him. You could run LOE on a color formation and that would work very well. So Cooler, everyone knows that he is really good for LOE. So you could run blue, purple, really just support the team and have an endurance factor. You could run a different color variation. So I think it's yellow, green, where you run this guy here. Oh no, it's yellow, green, I think. It's something weird. Like, I'm not an LOE merchant. I don't know much about the team, but I know I've been seeing them a lot and they've actually been doing damage. Put LOE in the right hands, like, it's a problem, bro. And you can say that about any team, but you just don't see LOE a lot because people don't tend to build it. But often, especially recently, because of this guy here, the RP addition as well to how he gives you extra RP in PvP, and the way it is to get high rank, it's already difficult, man. People have been running LOE and trust me, it is a good team. I feel like the Revival literally just made it, okay, this is a team that you can actually fear now, and they already do a lot of damage, especially if they have like all the pieces. So they're gonna need this guy, I'd say at least 6 stars or higher. If you have this guy Zenkai, you're good to go. Final form Cooler, and of course that new Revival the Revival Frieza, and even this Pod Frieza, which I didn't 14 stars. 14 star, he's actually very good as well. But let me know what you guys think about this one being the 5th slot for this video. I don't know how I feel about it myself, but I feel like it was a decision well made from my part. I don't feel like any other team could just slide in for a 5th slot, unless I just put way more color teams, which is crazy. But yeah, that's the top 5, and we'll get into the next part of the video now. Now, unfortunately, that's actually going to be the end of the video. I don't have any honorable mentions, which is crazy. And the reason why I don't is simply because I don't feel like there's any other team that stood out even so much more to be as equal as any of the teams that I showed in this video. If I was to mention one, I'd put Saiyans, but Bardock was just so lackluster that there's no point of bringing that whole Saiyan type formation when there's these 5 teams that would just put Saiyan to rest very easily. It's quite bizarre how cheap they made Bardock as a unit, and I feel like this meta is just not for him anyways. His animations look beautiful, don't get it wrong, but as a unit, it's just not what we needed, not what any team can use right now. The meta doesn't help. It doesn't help the meta for any reason. It doesn't shift it in any way. It's just an extra unit in the box to collect, I guess. If you disagree with anything I had to say, leave a comment. I genuinely leave a comment because I want to know what you guys think. This one, I felt like I was very just going in a straight line. There hasn't been much change from the last month, but we gotta keep this record of knowing what the best teams have been every single month. Press that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're on this grind to 25,000 subscribers. All my social media links on the left. This is the YouTube channel, but we got a Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and a Discord link all in the description below. But yeah, man, I'll see you guys maybe in my next upload, whenever that is. I'll have an update video coming very soon for you guys that are interested in why I haven't been uploading consistently. I have done some community posts, but I feel like a video makes more sense. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Please, lend me your energy!